about answering a question that I had gotten and then asked if the person could expand on the question, and then after they did, now I'm going to answer the question once and for all. Also, I'm really sorry if it sounds like I'm yelling. It's just that I'm using my computer again, and as you guys noticed last time, the audio quality was really bad and it was really quiet because I wasn't using my whole like nice microphone setup or anything. So I felt really bad, and now I'm gonna try again. Except basically just gonna shout at the computer and hope that wherever the microphone is, that it picks me up. So that's the idea, and I'm really sorry if various parts of my face are cut off at different points. I'm trying. I'm trying. Um, but to answer the question, we are going to determine mathematically right now if my lights are better than the lights that this guy was looking at. So to give some context to people who don't know what I'm talking about, somebody asked me if I would be able to compare my light in terms of like in lumens, I mean, um, for output, for like brightness and intensity, basically. That's what lumens measures. It's yeah, it's a unit of measurement. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and he gave me two sets of lights that he has from Amazon. One of them is a set of 3 umbrella lights, and the other one is a set of 3 soft boxes. And we're going to go through each one and determine which is better, mine or theirs. So I have a set of notes that I'm going to be using where I scribbled down all of my stuff because otherwise I'm not going to be able to remember. So, long story short, we're going to start off with mine so that we can reference it later. So, because we're using LEDs, we are going to keep in mind that the luminous efficacy of LEDs is typically higher than fluorescent bulbs, which are what the other two lights use. Now, whoa, I just used a big word. Luminous efficacy, not as scary as it sounds. Per watt, it's basically the number of lumens and light that the source will give off. So it's basically just dividing lumens by watt. That's all it is. It's measured in lumens per watt. So, yeah, that's literally exactly what it is. So, and this is significant when you go to calculate lumens for a light source. So, we have a nifty little formula that we use. I'm going to write it down for you now. Lumens equals watts. I just screwed that up. Lumens, the two, equals watts times luminous efficacy. Just ignore at the top that little screwed up. This is what's significant. Lumens equals watts times luminous efficacy, and I really hope that this isn't mirrored when you guys go to watch it. So in this case, the LED panel, 48 watts is the consumption of the entire panel, multiplied by the luminous efficacy of the LEDs, which is approximately 130 is what we're going to call it. You can really, in this case, they're just exceptionally bright, but ordinarily they would be 100, 115, 130 is on the bright side. On the bright side, yay! So we're going to multiply 48 times 130, and I'm going to pull out my calculator here because I did this the other day and then forgot the answer. And we are going to come up with 48 times 130. We're going to come up with 6240. 6,240. Yeah! Okay, so this is for my panel. This is the big number here. So that's, I mean, for one light, that's pretty bright. That's definitely on the bright side. So first, for their lights, we're going to talk about the umbrella light. And we are going to look at one of them, not the three of them, one of them, because one of the umbrella lights is approximately the same size as one of my LED panels. If three of them took up the same space as one of the LED panels, then I would calculate three of them, because the whole point of doing is to help this guy save space. So we're going to talk about one of them. So we know that the light bulbs that this guy is using in them consume 45 watts, because that is what Amazon told us, which is what the seller and slash manufacturer told them. So that's the correct number. And we also know for fluorescent bulbs, or in this case we can kind of estimate, we're gonna highball it a little bit just to kind of throw we're gonna throw them a bone. just for shiggles. So we're gonna calculate the luminous efficacy for the fluorescent bulbs at 60 lumens per watt. Woo! So 45 times 60, 45 times 60 is 2700. Just so you guys can see, 2700, which is smaller than 6240. Whoa. So long story short, my box is a little bit more than twice as bright as theirs as far as the umbrella lights go. Now, we're going to talk about the softbox, which is a little more complicated, and I will explain why. First of all, the softbox, first it has one, one central piece, and out of that central piece comes, well, okay, four, because two kind of go upwards and two kind of go downwards, four heads where you screw in the fluorescent bulbs. And each of those bulbs are 45 watts, again, according to Amazon. I'm not inventing any of this. So in this case, we're going to start off by calculating it for one bulb and multiplying it by 4, because there's 4 bulbs. So we're going to do 45 times 60, which we already did. It's 2700. And then we're going to multiply 2700 by 4. And we're going to get 10,800, which seems like a huge amount, oh my god. But keep in mind, softboxes have kind of like basically a diffuser on the front of them. So the light source is going to not necessarily be as harsh as an umbrella light or my panel, unless you choose to use a diffuser with it, which in this case I didn't. So you're going to reduce this by a pretty fair margin. Not significant, but it depends on the diffuser you're using. I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm not going to calculate it because it would take forever, because I would be going by like tons of different diffusers, and knowing me, I would give you a list of the numbers for every possible diffuser you could use like no one's man. So we're just going to use a ballpark. So keep that in mind. And then you also have to keep in mind that each of the lights are 45 watt bulbs, and there's 4 of them. But the power supply is only 110 volts. So I'm not 100% sure of the effect of using a smaller, this is like, they're totally different. But was it volt? I can't tell if that's a V or just like a really squiggly W. I'm gonna assume, I think it might be 110 volts. I don't remember. Oh my god, this is terrible. We're gonna assume. We're gonna make an assumption. Cross our fingers. We're gonna assume. I'll put it in the description, because I'm I just came home from work like right before I shot this video, so I'm really sorry that I literally can't remember what I'm doing from 1 minute into the next. I'll put it in the description. I'm really sorry. I'll put it in an annotation. I'll do something. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. So yeah, that's that. Keep that in mind. I'm not 100% sure what that does to the brightness, but keep in mind that the brightness is not necessarily actually going to 11,000 lumens because that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but that's not necessarily what you're going to get. So my light is definitely better than the umbrella light, like significantly, as far as like bang for your inch, I guess in this case, it's definitely better. But as far as the softbox goes, it depends on the application, I guess. Um, but it's iffy. It's iffy. It's very iffy. Um, I guess it's just preference. You can test them both and see which one you like. I mean, making the light panel is not exactly gonna break the bank for you, I suppose. Like if I'm a college kid. If I can afford to make it, then like that's saying something. Cause $66 to like poor college kids is like a million poor people dollars. Okay, so like let's like keep it in perspective. Um, Hopefully, I mean, like I said, $66 is for two, so you can make one for like 30. And if you're buying like light boxes and umbrella lights and stuff, then like I'm asking you, I'm practically begging you to experiment with this significantly cheaper and possibly better lighting option, please. So yeah, and plus it's cool. Just try it. Trying things is fun. So there's that. Let me know what you think. I hope I answered your question fully. I just totally like this whole thing, which is one giant like one tangent after the next. So sorry if I lost you. If I didn't, I'm really happy if I didn't lose you. But that's my answer. My answer is that my panel is mathematically definitely better than the umbrella light by a long shot, but who knows? It's a toss up between the softbox and the light panel. But my light panel probably takes up less space. So it's up to you. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, good night guys, I guess, because it's pretty late where I am. For me, I'm like basically an old lady in a college kid's body, so gonna be my bedtime soon. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. As usual, if you need to see anything or have any questions, comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can.